friends. Hi, it's been a while. This is the start of a vlog. Well, actually, you've already seen a couple of things. But we're doing vlogs for August. And in August, I'm actually participating in ARC August, which is run by Vanessa from Reading with Dr. B. And I'll put all the information for it down below, like her channel and her announcement video. Hopefully, you see this before the end of August. Um, but that's the thing. So I have here um, some of my arcs, or well, all of my arcs in this jar, and we're gonna pick one, and that's what we're gonna start with. And obviously, I'm not gonna read all of these, but I mean, we're gonna try to get as many as possible throughout the month. Oh, this one. What is this? Mass mothering. I will put the picture of it on the screen. We're gonna look up what that one is about because I don't remember. There's so many in here that I forgot what all of them are about. Let's see. Here we go. That's interesting. That was not one that I was expecting to come out either. I love this cover. I'm pretty sure this came out already. Hold on. Yes, it came out at the beginning of the year. Okay. It says it's a haunting, indelible novel collective of grief, resistance, and the radical life from a virtue of testimony. It's a It says A is an amateur translator living alone in an unforgiving late capitalist metropolis, adrift and burdened by debt, following a medical trauma. She makes rank caring for a young boy who is not and could never be her own. Her nights are spent on the dance floor chasing spontaneous connection. There she encounters N, who shares her numb state and sometimes her bed. Among N's meager possessions, A comes across a slim book about an unnamed foreign town of disappearing boys. The book, Field Notes, documents the stories of a community of mothers who assemble to mourn their missing sons together. A is transfixed by this collective chorus of primal grief, the mother's preternatural strength, and their intuitive care for one another. When a near assault stuns A, out of her inertia, she takes off for the city where Field Notes was written in search for its author and end of the story. But A's digging leads her instead to the traces of a murdered poet, a mysterious woman whose legacy will intersect unexpectedly and pivotally with A's own life. It says mass mothering is told through layered voices, written fragments, and recorded testimonies. An luminous story of the mutuality of grief, aftershocks of violence in a globalized era, and the world-bending force of a mother's love. It sounds really good. It sounds very like sci-fi-esque. Um, so that's what we're going to be reading. Like I said, I will put the cover on the screen. So that's the first book. And I'm excited. I'm interested. I wasn't expecting that one of all of them to come up. Let me go ahead and bring it up here on here. Boop, boop. So I have so many. It's not even funny. Where is it? I should probably sort these by. Oh my god, there's so many. It's kind of crazy. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, it's right here. I was like, it doesn't have a cover. So it doesn't have covers. So that is what I'm going to be reading on my Kindle. I am reading a physical book as well, which will still count for August. And just I have to have read less than more than 50% of it in August. So I will, but I'm probably gonna just go through that one. Like I'm just gonna take my time with that read because I feel like I just need to occasionally sit down and read it. I mean, I don't think it's gonna take me that long. I just think I'm gonna go slow. I'm not gonna pressure myself or anything just because why. So we're gonna start this book, and I will see you when I've read some of it and what I'm thinking about it. Hello, we're back. I have gotten, I will put Mass Mothering cover over this. I've gotten to 50% in Mass Mothering. It's actually really good so far. I don't know if I read the synopsis to you, right? The summary to you. Um, so we're following basically two point of views. One, where every time when we started, and like this book is split into three parts. So every part you start when you get the findings from the field notes of this Petritus guy. Yeah. Um, you're getting like his point of view. He's researching this small town where in which all the sons have gone missing, and it's just a bunch of moms and daughters, and the moms are like, hey, where are our kids? um and they're kind of, you're learning kind of like about all of the moms, and like, well, it's one, not all of them, but like specific ones that I think are important, probably important to his research, because he's like interviewing them and what's happening with them, like all the things that they're experiencing, all the things that they're trying to do to see if they can find their sons again. And so we have that perspective. That's really interesting. It's getting a little bit darker and more mysterious as we go on. Um, I don't want to say too much more because, you know, I mean, it's already out and it's, but like, you know, if you want to read this, you're intrigued. I don't want to spoil it for you. And then we're following A. It's the second perspective, so like the latter half of the first part. Um, and she is living in the city, and it is like presumed, like they don't really say like, oh, I'm from a different country. Just they're just talking about languages and how their language is different from the language of the capital. So it's like if she's not a foreigner because I think she was born here, but she's like not from the city, and her parents are not from here, like, or her family is not from here, so they have different language. And she's meets this guy N because she goes out every night, um, dancing at bars and whatever. She meets this one guy N, and also they have names. Their names are not just A and N. They just don't tell you what the names and what the names are. And she mentions at some point that she told him her name, and she remembers him telling her his name, but she doesn't remember it. Um, and she meets him, and they strike up like a very weird relationship. And she's dealing with like medical stuff, or she did before she met him, and we're just going through her life and seeing how she views the world. And right now, before she went through all that medical stuff, she did have like a consistent job, and now she's just a nanny for this one kid named R, who I'm assuming also has a name. We just don't know it because it's like, that's the point. You're not supposed to be like so involved, invested in their names. But this little boy, he's like got a lot of disabilities, speech impairment. He's deaf. Um, and we watch her. She talks about him sometimes, but not all the times, because obviously it's her job. So she talks about how like she takes him to therapy, and how like she sees him struggle with the speech therapy because they're trying to get him to speak a little bit more. Um, because I don't think he can't speak. It's just that it's hard for him. Like he has yeah. Um, so that's where we're at. And I just read the first part of the second, the field notes for the second part of this book. And yeah, it's just getting creepier and eerie. It's very like eerie, but it's also like really easy to read. Like,
I think that's why I've gotten to 50% so quickly. Like I literally, it's only been in the last like maybe hour and a half that I've read that. Um, it's very like he's getting into things in a place where like it's basically like because he's an outsider too, of course, but he's because he's interviewing and because certain people have decided to come up to him, more stuff is happening, and he's a little bit scared um, for his own safety. This is where we're at. Yeah, it's getting darker. It's more mysterious. It is very readable, like very like it just flows. Also because it's not like, especially in those parts in the field notes parts, like it's just he's writing like it's very like he's just writing today because it just has the date. It has like October whatever. Well, let me see. When was the last one it said? Let's see. Yeah, February 17th. Like he's just writing the month and the day, and it's like a little snippet of like what he's thinking at that time or what he interviewed or like whatever he's whatever he was doing. And then with A's, it's basically the same thing, except there's no like things. It's just kind of like moments in her chapters or her part where it's just stops. Um, See, like here, the chapter just stops. I don't know. You can't really tell. At the top there, it's just a couple paragraphs and then it stops, and then there's like these. They probably have a name. The little thingy in the middle where it separates it. I don't know it. But it's very interesting. It's very intriguing. There's a lot of things that happened that I think would be spoilers that I think are very like the way A is talking about them are very like social societal connotations that the author I think is trying to put in there, and I think they're done very well because they're just like slotted in there because A is just thinking them and you're just following her thought process. And it's actually really good. I like it so far. Right now it's currently for me like right now it's like a 3 star. I am gonna write a little bit more of like notes on it, like what I'm thinking right now, just so that when I come to write the review, I can do that more efficiently. It's really good. Um, oh, I mentioned that I was reading a physical book. I'm reading this, Queen of Faces. Because last month in July, I'm only in like chapter 8. I'm very, barely graded. This is gonna be like my physical read for the month. I'm just gonna very slowly read a couple chapters here and there. No pressure. I feel like that's what I pressure myself too much with physical reads, like because it's physically right in front of me. I have to like sit and go through chunks of it. Um, but I'm just gonna take however long it takes me in this month to read this. It's got really pretty sprayed edges. Look at them. They're beautiful. Oh, also the Naked Book. Oh, there's like a maps on each. The Naked Book is also beautiful. This one's the map. This one's set in a fantastical world, and it's about Anna and we get two perspectives. Anna, who in this world you like your body is like a product and you can like switch in and out of it. So if like you're gonna die, you can just like be transferred into another body. They I think of it as your like subconscious or your like mind, but they call it the PIF. And we're following Anna as she deals with a horrible mistress who basically tries to drown her because she forces her to with like her sort of magic, because there's magic in this world, to drop herself into the ocean, like jump off a cliff essentially. But Anna survives. That happens in the first chapter. Um, Anna survives, and it's just about like her struggle in surviving after that. And her current body is dying, is decaying, and she only has about a year to live. So we're following her as she does what she can to see if she can afford to get a new body. And then we're also following. We are introduced to her as Nell, and also because you can like transfer your body. Anna, when she was a lot younger, um, obviously born, she was, she had a female body originally. She's a woman. Um, but when she was young, she got sick and she got like this bacterial infection that basically destroyed her original body. And her parents, or her mother, because her mother could only afford, she's just as her mom, could only afford the body of a male, which the model is known as an Edgar. Um, but it was like a cheap black market one. So yeah, that's why it's failing. So she's a woman inside a man's body, and she's trying to get a female body, and yeah. So that's that. And then we're also following Nail. That's Anna. Um, we're following Nail, who she comes from like royalty and nobles, and there's this academy, like where all the magic users are, and she was in the academy, and she was like the top student. Her mom's like a admiral, and like her mom wants everything. Her mom's a grade A jerk. She's just awful. I'm gonna put this down. She's just awful. And because because Nell is not perfect, and there's a situation that occurs that I don't want to spoil, and she basically has her daughter go through what is called an ousting, where in which her daughter fights someone that she chooses to basically replace her if she loses. And so we watched that happen, and Nell has in fact lost. She did in fact lose. Um, and we're following her as she is now an ousted noble, and in her new body, because she loses her body too. And she is also in a body of a boy. And so we're following that. That's all I've got into in that story. It's like we literally just got. I think she's gone out once in her new body. Also, she doesn't, because when she got ousted, her memory was wiped, so she's not supposed to remember her like past. And one of the things she doesn't remember is her name. So her chapters are all labeled with this 5116R, her number, because that's technically now her legal name. So that's where I'm at. That's where I got in this book. I'm going to tell you more soon if I read a little bit more, but I'm not going to read any of that today. I think I'm going to read a little bit more of Mass Mothering, because it is quite interesting, and I am very intrigued as to get off of there where it's going, because it's getting eerie and creepy, and it's just like pulling me in. So we're probably going to do more of that. This has been a very long update for absolutely no reason, and the cat is misbehaving. So I'm going to go, and I'll see you probably when I finish this, and maybe update you on anything else I'm doing and or reading. So there's that. Bye. See you later when I've read something more. Hi friends, I'm Vic. It is the next day. I have in fact finished Mass Mothering. In between the last time I spoke to you and right now, for Arc August, every week
they're doing this thing. Well, not there. We're gonna have like a challenge that you can choose whether or not to do it or not. And it's called the Secret Society Challenge. And this week's challenge was to put a poll up of 4 things and have like everyone pick what your next read is. And you can either like put the titles or you can put like emojis. And I put emojis. I have footage of it. Like I screen recorded my phone. And you can see which one. The one that won, I will put the cover on the screen. But I did end up picking 4 books, 4 of them out of here. And I picked Cleopatra was one of the options. The Honey Witch was one of the options. This has been on my that's been on my neck for like a million years. A sociopath's guide to a successful marriage. And a Tide of Treason, which has also been on my neck for a million years. And as you will have seen, that I will put on the screen the poll. I'll show you the winning one. I used emojis. The first emojis were Tide of Treason, and then it was a sociopath's guide to sexual murder, and then it was Cleopatra, and then it was the Honey Witch. And Cleopatra, for quite some time, was trying to catch up to a Tide of Treason, but it did not happen. But I will now tell you what a Tide of Treason is about, which is going to be my next read. I have not read anything today. We're going to leave that one out. I'm going to put these away. A Tide of Treason is, it says the Poppy War meets the adventures of Mina al-Sarafi in this queer adult fantasy. So it is queer. It says, for Vashek, the sea is both his home and his battleground. He sails the open waters as a privateer, striking against those who once betrayed his homeland. But when a lost secret from Atma's downfall surfaces, one forged in blood and iron, he finds himself at the center of a deadly conspiracy that could change the balance of power across the world. Hunted by the forces of the Iron King, Zara's only hope lies in an uneasy alliance with Veshik, a fierce and enigmatic being of the deep with the secrets of her own. She will do anything to save those she loves and protect her family legacy. As their fates unravel and failure looms on the horizon, Vashik and Zara must decide whether to chase vengeance or trust the tides of fate to lead them towards something greater. A sweeping tale of rebellion, betrayal, and the call of the sea. A Tide of Treason is a perfect fan for fans of high stakes adventure and political intrigue. Sounds really good. I think I've read this author one other time, so they will not be a new to me author. And the cover is really pretty from what I can see in front of me, but you will see it on the screen. So the reason I have not read today is because this morning I woke up and I'm just not a morning person. I always need so much time to like adjust to being awake. It's kind of crazy. But also, we were doing errands. I was doing some errands with my mom, and we went out and we got some things that we both needed. We also went to the thrift store because they were doing a back to school sale where literally everything in the store was 50% off. So I got a few things. So I want to show you the first things are in fact books. So I don't know why this is $12.99. Someone must have bought it new and then donated it. But I got A Brave New World, the Aldous Huxley. This one was like 80 cents. And then The Tenet of Wildfell Hall. And then I got this one because it sounded really good. Also, the quote on the back sounds amazing. It says, burning with magic and loss, exile and return, beauty and heartache. Sejona's Song is a colossal epic disguised as a small novel. And actually, the inside was very intriguing to me. Also, I just love this cover. And then, must move. They do not all fit there. Be Not Far From Me by Mindy McGinnis. First of all, this cover. But it sounded intriguing, and Mindy McGinnis is an author that I kind of want to try. I don't know if this is the best place to start, but we're going to. Yes, I hear a lot about the one that says author of the female species. I hear a lot about that one, so I thought maybe I'll pick this one up. I don't know. There was a lot of books. I could have come home with like at least 5 more books, but I didn't. I also got this dress, and you can't really see it, but it's basically like a tank top, and then the skirt is it's all black with little bows. It's so cute. I saw it. I literally walked past it, and then I did kind of like a second glance, and I was like, "Oh, that's a cute dress." And normally, I don't really like. I wasn't really looking for one. But I was like, "Oh, let me see what size it is," and it happened to be my size. And then I got these pants, and they're like highlighter pink. I don't know if you can tell, but they looked really cute. And I don't know, for some reason, I'm on like pink kick. They probably look orange to you, but they're definitely pink. So that is what I got today. That's what I got up to. I also got some other things like food for the cat and stuff. And what else did I get? I got her a flea collar, and I got her cat food. Oh, and then we bought things to make dinner. So yeah, I've been out about all day, and I'm so tired. In this cup is not in fact tea or any coffee or anything. It is soda because I needed the caffeine. But yeah, so that's it. I will be reading Tide of Treason on here. Oh, well, actually, it's kind of a lie. I read a little bit of Queen of Faces this morning, and actually, it's kind of been really nice to just like read a chapter at a time and kind of just like be like, oh, that's interesting, and then like come back to it later, like getting just a little bit of it of this world and the story, like every once in a while. So we read from well, her name, I know her is now, but because that's when you like first introduce her. What is it? 516R's point of view. She has just given herself a new name to go with her new body. Um, so we'll learn about that later. And yeah, so that's it. Yesterday, Mass Smothering, I gave it 4 stars. I also wrote the review and submitted all the things I needed to submit for one for NetGalley and also for Arc August. I think it was like 315, 16 points that I got for my team. Plus, I got points for being in the sprints. Because yesterday, all day, which is probably why I finished the book in a day, was on sprints with first Vanessa, who is the like overall host of the Arc August, and then Ali from Ali's Annotations, who is one of the purple team captains or team co-hosts. I don't know what the team is named. I think it's like Obsidian something. I can check. Look, literally the computer's right in front of me. I can just look it up. I can just look it up. It's right here. Obsidian Ordered is what it's called. I was like, Obsidian something. I don't know why, but it's also purple. Yeah, so that's the update. I feel like I talk really fast right now. I don't know. It might be that this caffeine is kicking in. I read overall. I've had a really good day. I just haven't read a lot, so I'm hoping to at least read a significant chunk of A Tide of Treason today. It is, according to Storygraph. Let me check. 432 pages, and because it is technically the secret, what is it called? Hold on, my brain is fried. Secret Society Challenge. It will count for double, so that will be more points for my team, which is quite nice. I'm excited. It sounds very piratey, very oceany, very magical, or very like mystical. So that's gonna be my next read. It's gonna be a far departure from Mass Mothering, which is literary fiction. And also, to be fair, before I read the book I read before, like the last thing I finished before August, was also literary fiction. So Not that I don't know why, but I was drawn to it, so I picked it up. And it was that one was a small book. It did take me a while to read it, but I think that way that one was written was that makes sense. But yeah, so now I'm going into fantasy, which I usually read a lot more of. So I'm excited for this. Okay. So I will see you when I've read something because I feel like I'm going on just everywhere. I'm just all over the place. So bye. Hello, friends. So it's Monday evening. The last time I spoke to you was Saturday. So there's been updates. Update number one: I cleaned my bathroom. That's the most important update. Okay. Update number two: we've got some reading done. I have read today. I read 3 chapters of Tide of Treason, and I know it's been probably a day and a half, and even like 2.5 days to read through. I've only gotten 3 chapters in, but mind you, um, yesterday was kind of just like I just wasn't feeling it, so I just didn't read. Actually, that's a lie. I read a graphic novel. I finished a graphic novel. They called this, and hold on, they called this "Enemy" by George Takei. I think that's. I'll put the cover on the screen. Really good, really informative. I really appreciated all the little things that were put in there that you wouldn't think of when you were gonna write something like that. And if you don't know, that's about George Takei, who was in Star Trek, and how his family, after Pearl Harbor, was with a lot of other Japanese Americans sent to concentration camps, and how his family handled that. And he was a very young boy when that happened, but how like his parents and everyone around him handled that and how it affected him. Um, it was really good. It was really informative. I have the expanded edition from my library from Libby, and at the end of it, like behind the graphic novel, there was like pictures of him and his family and like other people, and um, a little bit more of the history on it and stuff like that. So that was really good. So I finished that yesterday. Yes, yesterday. And yeah, that's what I read. That's reading update. Oh, well, also today I haven't read a lot today because um I've been cleaning. So I listened to my audiobook that I had, which was from Libby, which was so I'm reading my library books, that's fun, right? But like we're not reading arcs. Um I listened to I was at 30% and now I'm at 68% of of Raven Black. It's called Raven Black by Anna Cleave, which is this is the first in this series for her, the Shetland series. This one and the second one, White Nights, is what the first season of Shetland, the show, is based off of. So I'm listening to that. It's actually really good. Um, it's about in the Scottish, like it's a Scottish island or islands. It's like a group of it's kind of I guess it would be an archipelago then. So it's just a group of islands, Scottish islands. And it's following the on this island there's found a suspicious death, and they were following the people that are involved in this, and also like the cops and how they're dealing with it, and how because it's like such an isolated area, like how they would handle it. And it's really good. Like I said, it's a show based off of it. I've already watched the show that is based off of this one, but still it's really good because there's a little bit different things going on in the book versus the show. So it's still really good. I'm enjoying that 68%. I would have probably gotten further if my headphones hadn't died. And then like I said, I read 3 chapters of Tide of Treason. And in Tide of Treason, we're following 3 different characters. We're following Dorian, Beshek, and Zara. I think it's her name. Yeah, Zara. And every chapter is essentially from a different point of view. Yeah. Pretty much. So Dorian, let me open up this. This is my reading journal. This is where I have my notes. Dorian is the I don't need the notes because I don't know how to freaking say the names. Dorian is the prince of Rock Tom. And then we have Veshek, who is also a prince, but he's technically ship captain. He's on a ship. He's a pirate-ish. He is one of the princes of Palavnam. And then Zara is a mermaid, I think. I don't exactly know because they don't really call them anything. She refers to her people as the Katalval, which I'm assuming is just like another word for mermaid, but um anything else. But she lives in the Katik Ocean, which is like in between Raktam and Palavnam. So she's like in the middle of them. But they're all like Zara's actually also like royalty too because she's supposed to be next in line for the throne or be the ruler of her reef. But she's like kind of stalling on that because she just feels like they're gonna trap her in the palace. Um, yeah, I think out of all the 3 perspectives I've gotten so far, obviously I think Veshik's is the most interesting because they are on a ship and it's very piratey, and we did get like a pirate battle scene. Yeah, the prologue was also really interesting. So I technically read 4 chapters. Um, this world seems very interesting. I do like that as you're going through each perspective, you are getting a little bit more of the history and the understanding of this world. There's a map in the arc as well, so I would like in the book there would be a map. So if you're like, I don't understand where they are in perspective to each other, you can look at the map because I did because I was like, I don't understand what's going on. Oh, also, they each kind of have like someone that's helping them or like a friend or like in Zara's case it's her sister Sai, and basically like a person with them, like there's right hand man kind of thing. In Vesper's case, it's obviously like a first mate because he's on a ship. Um, his is Cade. Dorian's is Hari, who's his best friend, and then Zara's is Sai, who's her sister. Um, yeah. So far, I mean, I haven't gone very far in it, so but so far so good. I'm not hating it. But like I haven't gone very far, so like I'm not loving it either. But like it's interesting. I think the world is very interestingly laid out. So I'm gonna try to read a couple more chapters tonight. I've just been so busy cleaning that like I'm like this is the first time I've been able to sit down and like actually hold this in my hand. I've been way too busy. Um, yeah. So that's that. So tomorrow I'm probably going to read a whole lot more. Um, I may use my walking pad and read some of Title Treason on that, so that way we can get more in, get more of it read. I need to stop saying it's really bad. Also, oh yes, I logged they call this enemy for Arc August. I'm also currently on sprints for Arc August, so I have to log those as well. Yeah, you get points for being into sprints, which I think is fun. And all because they call this enemy is a graphic novel. It's like it's worth like half points, but still, it's like better than nothing. And it's also like in my brain, like considering that I haven't really been reading at all in the last couple months, like literally in July I read 2 books. Um, so like any read it all for me right now is a win. But I'm very excited to continue reading into like I feel like right now I'm very in the mood to read, so I'm just trying to read everything, which is the problem because then I'm a little spread out. But it's fine. I'm just gonna try tomorrow. We'll try again tomorrow. It's a new day. Start over. um, yeah. So that's the reading update. My computer's making noises. The cat is sitting in her bed right there. Um, I am hoping to get Title Tracer done by the end of the week. Just so that we can use it for the Secret Society challenge and it can get double points. But I'm not gonna like be mad at myself if it's not, because if I just need to go slower with books right now at all just to get them done, then that's valid. I do think I really maybe needed to read that graphic novel because I was really feeling like not in a read to move. Like I felt like I was going to slump, so I needed to read something quick that would get me back on track with my reading, like get me back into it. So I think it was a really good idea. It gets a book read, it gets some points. It's not a lot of points, but it's something. And it gets me not in a reading slump. Yeah. So tomorrow we'll see. We'll try again. And I'll probably update you a little bit better because I'll try to update you a little bit better because today was just kind of a bust as far as anything but cleaning. We were productive, but I didn't read. Well, no, to be fair, getting to 68% in Black Raven is reading. But like I don't know, I wish I could just have read a little bit more of Title Treason earlier in the day. Although I am gonna try to read some more tonight before bed. So I will see you when I've read more. Yeah, bye. Hello. It's Tuesday. I don't know why I did that. Why spirit fingers? I don't know. Um, it is. Hold on. Yes, Tuesday. there's there's a calendar in front of me. I have to make sure. I have finished a book today. I finished my audiobook, which was Raven Black by Anne Cleves. It was really good. I went into this obviously like I had seen the show, so I kind of went into this knowing. But I think it was so really well done. I think I really love books so much because you get so much more from them than you do in a show or a movie.
I do really like what they did with the show, like reading, like listening, like hearing the book or reading the book, and then knowing what goes on in the show. I think they really did a really good job with it. um, and so I really love both of them. Um, the first season is based off of the first and second books of the series, which has 8, I believe, and so I am thinking that I'm going to read the second one, which is called White Nights, and then maybe rewatch season 1 of Shetland, just for funsies, you know. And then also depending on like how I feel about White Nights, and maybe we'll continue on this series, but I'm not sure. But yeah, audiobook done. I've read 3 books, and it's only the 4th of August. So I'm happy about that. I did get more into Tide of Treason. We are on chapter 7. And so far, I like all our characters, but I definitely like Dorian the least. To be fair, we aren't getting a lot from him, like his story, because he's just a prince in a kingdom and his dad's like in charge. But he seems very like not serious and doesn't understand like the gravity of the fact that he is next in line. Which I don't know if it's a bad thing yet or not, but like so far he's not taking anything seriously, and it really makes me like be like, I don't know about him. Also there was some talk of him having to get married at the end of his chapter that I read. So that might bring up some more things for him and make him understand how serious it is to run a kingdom, I guess. Veshik, I really like being on the ship and being like on pirate and having like pirate battle scenes. And yeah, like, and also like in this one, because his men have not been paid, having to like understand how much he goes through being captain of a ship and like having to take care of his people and not have a mutiny, and like all that goes through, like all the things being out at sea for as long as they have, really entails. And then in Zara's, I really like her connection and bond with her sisters. um there was something that was really not fun that happened. There is one of her sisters passed um due to pollutants in the water. um that she inhaled some sort of metal, and it unfortunately um killed her, or unalived her, as we'll say. So that was sad. It was really devastating, but I do really think that it drives point, like in all the chapters I've read for her so far, that point is really driven home because she's in the water. She sees how all these pollutants and all these things are shooting into the water or throwing in the water affect the ocean and her people. Um, it's getting more serious for her and Zeshik, whereas I think that's why I'm not as interested in Dorian, because he's just in a castle. There's nothing going on with him. So I feel like maybe once we get into the point where like he has to pick someone to marry, we might get some intrigue. But so far, it's really well written. I really like all the characters. I really like the way um, they each have like their own unique thing. I also really like that we're on land, we're on a boat, and then we're in the ocean. um, so that's where I'm at with this. I am really like, since we're getting more, I think I'm more inclined to pick this up now, whereas before I was like I wasn't that far in, so I wasn't like whatever. I wasn't as interested. I was like, that's not the right side. I've read a single or more chapter of Queen of Faces. I was like, that's what it's called, right? Yeah, Queen of Faces. This is such a pretty book. We're just getting more of Anna. She's got into the school, and we're learning more about this world through her eyes.
What did I drink? Anyway, so that's where I'm at. I am planning on reading more of this while I go to bed. When I go to bed, like I'm gonna sit in bed and read it. So we should have more progress tomorrow morning. You will see I've made blondies. Um, yeah, I feel like my reading's been pretty good. Tomorrow I need to for one hunker down for this. Like this is I could probably read another chapter here and there, but it's like whatever. I need to tomorrow probably sit down and read a little bit more of this. And what else is there? I need to film a video tomorrow. Well, technically I could do it on Thursday. So we'll see if I do that tomorrow or the next day. What am I watching on this screen? There's a giant pink taco truck. Anyways, it's fine. What? I literally have a to-do list right here. I was like, what else does my brain need to say? Yeah, I just need to film. I probably need to do some pictures from Instagram for Instagram as well, but it's fine. And that just an update. I read a whole book. I finished a book. We got from 68% to 100% in a day. To be fair, I do read these, like, it was an 11-hour audiobook. I do read my audiobooks at like at least 1.75, if not 1.5, at least not 1.75 speed. So it was very much sped up. But yeah, I know. I listened to it while I made blondies and made lunch for myself. So I need to go and make myself some dinner. So I will see you when I've read more of this. Also, I had this cat, this sitting like here, or sitting like in front of me, and I was like, this cat is judging me. I need to read. So maybe it's a good thing about that cover for my Kindle. Isn't he cute though? It's also on the back. That's cute. Judging me. This is the judge me cat. It makes you pick up your Kindle and read it. So yeah, I'll see you when I've read some more. Bye. Hello. It's been a while. It's been 2 days. The last time I spoke to you, I was on chapter 7 of Tide of Treason. I'll put the cover on the screen over there. I've now since finished it. It's done. Oh, why is that there? Okay, it's done. I finished it. So Wednesday, what did I do Wednesday? Wednesday was like I was productive in the morning, and then I felt like major energy level drop in the afternoon. So I was like, okay, no, I'm not gonna be on camera. Also, my sister and my nieces and nephews came over, so I spent time with them. And then yesterday, and then like later on, like at nighttime, I was feeling kind of like off, and I was like, okay. And then I woke up yesterday with a really bad sore throat, and I felt very much like I have a cold. I still kind of feel like that, to be honest with you. So I was like, but I did get a ton of reading on Tide of Treason. Also, yesterday I think I read a little bit more of this one. We're on page 160. I think the last time I opened this up, to tell you. I was like on chapter 10. We're in chapter 16 now. So I read a little bit more of that. But obviously, I made massive progress on Tide of Treason. And it's actually really good. I think for me in the beginning, it was really slow, but that was, I think, just me. And also because I was reading multiple books and they were all such varying genres that I think fantasy was the hardest for me to like get back into. So but once I got past that, I was like flying through it. Like yesterday I read almost all of it, and then today on sprints with Ali from Alice Annotation and Tia from Booking It with Tia. They are doing sprints right now, and so I was on those participating, and I finished the book. I also submitted it for points, and then it also, because it's an arc, I posted the review for it and everything. I gave it a 4.75 because I think it got really good the further we went into it, and I think it was definitely me. It wasn't the book. Yeah, and also this book has so many piratey like battle scenes, so you have to really love it for that. You have to really be into pirate battle scenes because there's a lot. I love them. I absolutely love them. I also loved all the characters. And I know the last time I spoke to you about it, I said I was like, I'm not so sure about Dorian. He grows on you. You learn more about him, and you're like, oh, okay, never mind. I don't dislike him as much as I thought I did. Yeah, so I think it was really good. I'm very happy with the way it ended. I'm very happy that I read it. It's been on my freaking NetGalley for a million years. So I'm like, so I'm kind of happy that it's gotten read because I was one of those ones that I'm like, I know that's been there for a while. I would like for it to be gone. Yeah, so what's our progress? I have read 4 books this week, which is impressive because last month I think I read 2 books the whole month. So yeah, we've read Mass Mothering, and then we read the graphic novel nonfiction they called Us Enemy, I think is what it's called. I'll put the covers on the screen. And then we read then I finished Raven Black, and then I just finished Tide of Treason. So 4 books done, and decent progress in this one. And I'm also, yeah, no, that's all of them. Yeah, so like 4 books done, 5 books started. And it's just the first week. And half of them were arcs. So that's impressive, honestly. Yeah, so I think we had a good week overall. I'm very excited for next week. I am probably not going to pick my next book until I start next week's vlog, just because tomorrow I have plans for editing and trying to get this vlog up next week, but also some other things with my mom that I'm doing tomorrow. So I don't even know if I'm going to pick up a book, if I even wanted to, Yeah, so that's that. That is the end of this vlog. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I do apologize that I haven't spoken to you in 2 days. But, life. And yesterday I was really feeling absolutely awful. So there was no way I was going to come on camera. So, but yeah, we did good. 4 books in week 1. I will see you next week or in the next one.